Hello, everyone.
Hi, guys.
Welcome to the New Year's Eve celebration.
Happy New Year.
We're going to play this old game I found some time ago. It's Isaac Asimov's Robots, a VCR mystery game. I put the VHS onto DVD to make it easier, and this is going to be our next subscriber giveaway prize.
Number 2.
For 500 subscribers on Rumble or YouTube. YouTube actually it's just about there at the time. It's almost to 100. Rumble hit 100 first, so they're probably going to hit 500 first.
Yeah, probably.
But we're going to play this game. Technically a video game, I guess.
A video. The
rules of the game. Oh, we can introduce everyone because I have them on, and Joe, we're always here, but
this is my wife, Leanne.
Yeah, and Michael here, who you've been in the background before. I don't think you've ever showed up in a video officially.
No, there was one. I forget which game it was.
You were here before. Okay. And Leanne is often in the background too.
Always in the background.
Yeah, you've had half a face then at least.
An arm or two.
So, the rules of the game. To start the video. As the scenes unfold, pay careful attention to everything that happens. Soon after it starts, the video will ask you to choose one of the 4 packets, and we're going with expert. There are 4 packets, 4 difficulties. Choose a packet, put the rest away. When the video tells you to draw a card, stop the tape. From the packet you've chosen, take out that card and randomly choose one side or the other. It doesn't matter which side you pick, but it's got to be random. So continue watching the tape and follow the instructions for each. Instructions? Did I say instructions? Instructions for each clue. At the end of the tape, review the information on the 6 clues you have chosen. After discussing the suspects and their motives, you should try to solve the mystery as a team, or each player should make his own accusation. So we'll see if we all agree or not. Okay. The rest of the rules are all about how you score it, and you look up the proper code for
all the cards.
The answer. So depending on what clues we get, will change the outcome of the game, which will start now.
Let's do this.
Earth, the birthplace of man. It's hard to believe that we once lived unprotected on its surface, exposed like animals. Fortunately, we had the good sense to abandon our cities on the surface and move underground. Now we're safe, but there were some who took a different path to find new homes out there in the stars. Their descendants now live on the spacer planets, spoiled, self-centered, and wasteful, without disease, free to pursue science and art, their every wish fulfilled, and all because of the robots who serve them. Thousands of robots. Smart, strong, obedient. Robots who build more robots till they outnumber the spacers 100-fold. Robots who wait on them, who serve them, even pilot their ships. Well, we have robots too, but mostly where people won't go. Topside, tending crops. But our little tin men are minor league compared to the spacer robots. And that means the spacers call the shots. So now, they've set up a base out in old New Jersey, here to help us, the spacers say. Yeah, well, look, I don't know what their base is really for, but I'll tell you this. Keldon Amadiro didn't come here to help the Earth.
And His Honor the Mayor warned that these census figures will mean even smaller food allotments for the months to come. In other news, the arrival earlier this week of spacer Keldon Amadiro is regarded ominously by local authorities. Well known for his anti-Earth views, Amadiro was sent directly from Aurora to head up the Spacertown base. He was met by Dr. Han Fastoff, the galaxy's leading roboticist, who has been at Spacertown for several months now. Fastoff has often been at odds with Amadiro over Earth-spacer policy issues. Ever since his arrival, Amadiro has been unavailable to News 99 for comment on his appointment to the Spacertown base. In other news, riots against spacers and robots flared up in 5 locations around the city this week. The most violent demonstrations were at the Transrail plant in Brooklyn, where 30,000 jobs are being lost to robot workers. The city police, however, have matters well in hand.
The citizens of New York have nothing to fear. We have matters well in hand.
And that's the news of the week in review. This Friday, May 25th, 2249.
Spacers, riots, robots. Whatever happened to your basic burglary?
Detective Bailey.
Sammy, how many times have I asked you not to sneak up on me like that?
306, Detective.
Just forget it, Sammy.
Forget what? Detective Bailey, Commissioner Enderby wants to see you in his office right away. He's real worried. He just heard from Spacertown. He's real worried.
So what else is new? Every time the boss got a furrowed brow, Sammy looked like he was going to fry a chip. And I guess with half the city out rioting and Spacertown pushing him around, he might be a little angry.
He's real worried. He's real worried. He's real worried.
The trouble is, whenever Julius starts feeling the heat, it's Lige Bailey, ace detective, who ends up putting out the fire. I hear you're real worried, Julius.
I told him, Commissioner.
Thanks, Sammy. Sit down, Bailey. Yeah, help yourself to a cheese blitz.
You're the only one who can stand that sugary stuff, Julius. I went out 100 years ago.
Lige, don't you ever long for the good old days? Before the robots, before the spacers, when you could get real food, real music.
Fresh air, sunshine.
All right, don't be crude, Bailey. I just had a call from Han Fastoff. You know what he wants me to do? He wants me to bring a spacer onto the force.
A spacer in the city? They're petrified of catching Earth germs.
Not this one. He's a robot.
What?
Exactly. Oh, Fastoff said it was just an experiment, wouldn't last long. But Lige, they're worried about Earth. Our birth rate, overcrowding, food shortages, the spacers are afraid we'll turn on them. So they want to have their robots in key positions on Earth to watch us.
A spacer robot? No, not a chance. The men will never stand for that.
Yeah, I don't know if I can either. I've tried to be reasonable with these spacers, but, they act as if you aren't even there. Oh, damn. These things cost a fortune to fix. But I'm not much good without them.
Why don't you just get a genetic eye twist like everyone else?
Look, Bailey, I can't tell Fastoff no. Now, I want you to go to Spacertown, bring this wind-up detective back. His name is Daniil Oliva. We'll figure out what to do with him later.
Wait a minute. Spacertown's topside. I can't do that.
Guys, you don't have to go outside. The tube takes you right to their dome cover. Look, I gotta get out of here. I'm about ready to explode. I'm going over to Queens to get these glasses fixed. Sammy will fill you in on the details.
This is a priority 1 assignment. You'll need to establish a link-up with the technicians at Data Log Central, Detective Bailey.
Thank you, Sammy. That's very helpful.
You're welcome, Detective. Have a nice day.
Data Central, this is Detective Elijah Bailey. Open a file for me called Assignment Robot.
Pause the tape.
Pause it.
Okay, so we're back. To play, take out the map. Okay, the map is here. Who wants to be the map keeper? You got the map.
I'm trying to read this thing again.
And pick one clue packet, that's expert. Put the rest away. Pause the tape until you are ready to continue. Oh, I guess that's all we're doing. Let's go.
I'll be heading over to Spacer Town, so I guess I'll need a map and any background information you can give me. Spacers. If they had to have an outpost, did they have to put it in New Jersey? I really don't want to do this. Spacers make me feel, well, small. And they're robots. I had nightmares about spacer robots, and now Enderby tells me I have to work with one. I should have called in sick today. Well, almost there. Took the local to drag the trip out to half an hour, but now I'm here. Spacer Town. Oh, I'd heard all about what would happen when I got there. Decontamination. Got them all yet? Huh? Nope, there's one there. Ah, nasty little earth germ. Yeah, you better zap that one quick. Good. Got the little... Not afraid of my blaster, but watch out for my sneezes. Guess this means I pass, right? Huh? Otherwise you wouldn't... Sorry, could you direct me to Dr. Fastoff's lab? I'm here to see a man about a robot.
You have found him.
Oh, Dr. Fastoff, I'm sorry, I didn't...
Excuse me, Detective Bailey. I am Daniel Oliva.
You? You're not a robot.
Yes, I am, Detective Bailey. I am a new humanoid robot developed by Dr. Fastoff himself. You seem doubtful. Perhaps I can convince you this way.
Daniel, Detective Elijah Bailey will be arriving shortly from the city. I want you to wait for him outside the decontamination area and escort him to this lab.
This is absurd. A robot you can't tell from a man? What's the point?
Come, I will take you to Dr. Fastoff's lab and tell you of his plan for Earth.
Plan? What plan?
It is Dr. Fastoff's hope that Earth will come to accept advanced robots as a liberating force in society.
Your Dr. Fastoff's dreamer robot, Daniel.
Perhaps, Detective Bailey, but he believes your planet is exhausted and cannot support your numbers. When you begin to look to other planets, as the Spacers did long ago, he says you will need the help of robots.
Your brilliant Dr. Fastoff hasn't done his homework, robots. There's no way any Earthman could ever deal with being on the surface of a new planet. No Earthman can stand being outdoors. Only a spacer could live in a building like this.
Is the daylight disturbing you?
Certainly it's disturbing me, robot!
Here. I hope that's better. So Dr. Fastoff decided to gather information on Earth's attitude towards robots. Since police work deals with raw human emotions, he thought it might be a fine way to conduct research. Since a humanoid robot could work alongside a human detective without causing any comment, I was designed. Your Commissioner Enderby was consulted and...
What is it?
There's something wrong. The tingle field should not be on. Wait here. Here's the lab. Only a small number of individuals have direct access to Dr. Fastolf's lab.
Friend Daniel, someone has made an attempt on the life of Dr. Fastolf.
Is Dr. Fastolf unharmed?
I was able to save him by knocking him away from the blaster beam.
Detective Bailey, you come highly recommended.
Well, you've got quite a reputation yourself, Doctor. I can see why. So what happened here, Doctor?
You needn't concern yourself. Our security forces will apprehend the city person who shot at me.
Oh, well, you saw the assailant, then. You can identify him.
No. He entered while Giscard and I were turned away from the door.
Well, then how do you know he was from the city?
Detective Bailey, spacers do not commit crimes. Robots prevent the possibility of crime by following the 3 laws of robotics.
And who might you be?
My name is Giscard.
I see. Robot Giscard. And can you project a holo like your friend here, Robot Daniil?
Certainly, so long as my memory of the event is fresh and vivid.
Then please replay the murder attempt.
Sir, Giscard heard the blaster being charged behind him, guessed its meaning, and used his robotic speed to save me.
Did you get a good look at the assassin, Robot?
No, Detective.
Mm-hmm. What time did this happen?
At precisely 8:30 a.m.
Mr. Bailey, as I stated before, space security has already been set into motion. There is nothing for you to do. I suggest that you and Daniil return to the city. It is vital to begin your work.
So I've been told. Your robot here mentioned your plan to show us city dwellers the error of our ways.
It is extremely important, Detective. All this that you see around you is but the faintest reflection of the culture spacers have achieved with the help of robots. Earth, on the other hand, has tunneled underground, hiding its head in the sand to the ever-increasing problems of overpopulation and diminishing resources. Your culture is doomed to collapse unless you begin to expand outward again.
What I can't figure, Doc, is what's it to you?
Spacers have become too content with their success, too proud, too conservative. Perhaps it is because of the long lives we lead. But should Earth join the spacers out there in the stars, they would bring with them their vibrancy, their joy of life. Only together, with our science and your vitality, can all survive. It is time to begin the long climb from your underground cities to the stars, Mr. Bailey.
Commissioner Enderby.
What?
I assume you know about the unprovoked attack by an Earthman on Spacer Han Fastolf this morning.
Who? Dr. Amadiro. Welcome. Welcome. Yes, the incident in Fastolf's laboratory was a terrible thing. Terrible. Sammy, get Bailey in here.
This is an outrage to the entire Spacer community. We must be able to guarantee the safety of Spacer representatives on Earth. Our lives are too long and valuable to be endangered by violence. Commissioner, if you had dealt firmly with the riots against spacers and robots from the beginning, this brutal attack would not have occurred. I cannot let another such incident happen. You have 24 hours.
To do what?
To find the assailant and bring him to justice.
24 hours?
Yes. Or I'll be forced to use the considerable powers of the spacer worlds to restore order.
What powers? You mean the spacer robots? The Federated Cities of Earth will never stand for that.
It is of no concern to me what the cities of the earth will or won't stand for.
Bailey, get on this right away.
It's not our jurisdiction, Julius.
Excuse me, partner Elijah, but due to our special project, we alone have joint jurisdiction to pursue the investigation, both in the city and in Spacertown.
Well, that figures. All right, then, I'm gonna need a list of everyone who had a pass to Dr. Fastoff's lab.
Borgrath, which Earth people have access to his lab?
Besides Commissioner Enderby, only Sophia Quintana, roboticist at the City Bureau of Personnel Resources.
Thank you. Commissioner, Mr. Bailey, 24 hours.
Get out of here. Sammy, get Sophia Quintana in here.
Right away, Detective. Commissioner Enderby is very upset.
Commissioner Enderby is very upset. I dug up some background on Sophia Quintana while Sammy went to get her. Nothing much. A high-level bureaucrat, Earth's leading proponent and designer of the Sammy type of robot.
Really, Detective, my office is only down the hall. Jane and I are quite busy.
Important work.
Sorry, Miss Quintana, we're kind of under the blaster on this one. Commissioner Enderby wants me to...
Julius is involved? Why didn't you say so, Mr. Bailey? What can I do for you?
Miss Quintana...
Please call me Sophia.
I'm Jane.
Someone tried to murder Dr. Fastoff this morning.
And Fastoff? Spacertown? Is he all right?
Last time I looked. But I have to establish your whereabouts for this morning.
Thank you for asking us, Mr. Bailey. I worked in the office all night until just now. Sophia was in Washington. She didn't get back until late this morning.
What difference does it make where we were?
Well, you were one of the people with the security pass to the lab.
That's right.
Would
Sophia
you please shut up? Mr. Bailey!
Oh, Jane, I'm sorry. I have no further questions for you. So, Sophia, you were in Washington this morning?
In fact, I was an honored guest at a banquet last evening. There's a small mention of it in today's Times, on page 24, I believe. I just got back. That dreary 2-hour ride on the intercity tube.
And I understand that you did some work with Dr. Fastoff. Tell me about that.
Well, Han and I shared a certain professional closeness. Colleagues, you understand.
Good morning, Miss Quintana.
Fastoff's done it then, has he? Sent his spacer robot into the city. I warned him!
I've been assigned to work with Detective Bailey.
Are you going to stand for this, Bailey?
I have no choice. Now, please, Sophia, about your work with Fastoff.
First, it was thrilling. The legendary Han Fastoff. Brilliant, charming, handsome.
You liked him a lot. Too bad he didn't.
But as we became closer, I began to see the real man, possessed by his work, interested in nothing else, cold. Just talk to Vasilia, his daughter. She has to work with him every day. More than I could stand, I can tell you.
He has a daughter there?
If you could call her that. They don't act like any father and daughter I know.
Mr. Bailey, you're upsetting Sophia. We must get ready for the...
Will that be all, Mr. Bailey?
Yes, thank you. I'm going to talk to Fastoff's daughter, Vasilia. Get me some background data on Spacertown.
I will. Also, I've been checking the city's computer files. We might find this useful, partner Elijah.
Data Central. Log this data as entry A.
Yeah, Allie has joined us.
Hello, baby.
Draw the data card labeled A. Okay. Look at one side or the other and place it face up so everyone can see it. Pause the tape until you're ready to go.
Underside.
Hold on. I now have it here. I guess you pick a... Alright. This is the one where we can all see it.
Earth
Bank charge memo.
Account J34444. Quintana. Balance 290 units. Charge 75 units. Vendor Inner City Rail. Place Washington, D.C. Date 5/26/49. Obviously 2049.
I suppose, yeah.
Time at 7:45 a.m.
Date we're in. Okay, so it's just someone's bank statement. Quintana, who's Quintana on there?
Sophia.
That was I thought. Okay, Sophia Quintana. She is 290 units a lot of money because she acts rich. There's a charge for 75 units from the vendor Inner City Rail. Oh, that is confirming that
she is telling the truth.
That she took the ride.
She did tell the truth.
From Washington, yeah.
Yeah, so that's...
Okay.
Okay, so we're good.
Go on, or does anyone want to say who they think it is yet?
No, not yet.
Yeah,
not yet.
That doesn't really give us a clue as to who it is.
No.
It's just her alibi is proven.
Right, so she's off the list.
At Data Central, we'll be going back to Spacertown. Do you have anything for me? Vasilia Fastolf's office was in the administration building, 3 miles from the lab. No way was I going outside, so I settled for trudging along the underground maintenance tunnel. Vasilia was kind of upset at having to meet me face to face. I promised I wouldn't sneeze on her, but I could tell it was something more. It was clearly beneath her dignity to talk to me, but then I got the impression she wasn't keen on talking to anyone.
Since Dr. Amadiro has ordered our cooperation, I guess I have no choice, do I? Make this brief, Earthman.
I'll trade you brief for a little quiet.
I always work with loud music. It helps my concentration.
Mm-hmm. Have you heard someone tried to murder your father this morning?
What was your name again? Earthman.
Bailey, ma'am.
Listen to me, Bailey. Han Fastolf has never been a father to me. He's basked in stolen glory for 80 years, living off of my discoveries, taking credit for my insight, and thwarting my career at every turn. I have 100 times more interest in the robots he creates from my designs than in him.
Fine. Who would want to harm Dr. Fastolf?
I don't know any Earth people.
Well, that's your loss. All right, next question. Where were you at 8:30 this morning?
Spacers don't commit crimes, Bailey. Look, Bailey, I was here in my office all morning. Now back off. In fact, I was engaged in a tri-D call at about 8:30.
What can you tell me about Dr. Fastolf?
Nothing. Why don't you ask him? Ask him why he manipulated affairs to stick me in this disease-infested hole. Ask him why he's here posturing about helping his little Earth brothers. Ask him why he's such a hypocrite. Oh, he loves Earth, but he hates your germs and your filth even more than I do. Now get away from me, Bailey. I can't take another second's exposure. Get out, or I'll have a dozen robots throw you out.
Oh, no need for that. I think I've gotten just about everything I needed. Well, it's been a real pleasure chatting with you, Vasilia. Oh, boy. Oh, boy, I hope I'm not coming down with something. See you.
Ask him why he's made a career of stealing my ideas.
I needed to talk to Amadiro, and I figured this was as good a time as any. According to the news reports, Amadiro was not a charter member of the Han Fastolf fan club. Yet, in Enderby's office, he'd made a great show of concern about the attack.
We've been expecting you, Detective. Seems as if you ruffled a few of Vasilia's feathers.
She acted like I was bringing her a personal case of bubonic plague.
Vasilia can indeed be abrasive, Mr. Bailey. It seems to us, however, that you would be wiser to concentrate your efforts in the city.
Look, I'm on this assignment at Dr. Amadiro's somewhat forceful request, so why don't you be the robot, I'll be the detective.
I am sure that we can provide you with all the information you may need.
Good, good. So, just for the record, I need to establish where everyone was at 8:30 this morning.
Fine, so?
So, where were you?
Your question does seem irrelevant. However, for the record, I was here at the administration complex.
What were you doing at 8:30?
Filing my daily report to Aurora via sub-ether tri-D.
Daily? The energy from one sub-ether call would feed an Earthman for a month.
Quite so, Mr. Bailey. But tri-D is my one link to civilization. Even Dr. Fastov is in regular touch with Aurora. But all of this is beside the point. Where I was, or where Vasilia was for that matter, is of no concern. Among spacers, there is no crime.
You all say that. I'm getting tired of that. What makes you spacers so virtuous and pure?
You are not hurt, Detective Bailey.
No.
As you can see, Detective, in Spacer Society, our robots will always prevent a violent crime.
Dr. Amadiro, I could not keep from crushing your paperweight. I'm sorry.
Let me see that. Where were you this morning, Borgraf?
Really, Bailey?
Dr. Amadiro and I were working on a number of important matters. I was here reviewing a series of reports which would
Good day,
increase my
Mr.
capacity
Bailey. Borgraf and I have quite a bit of work to do. And you have 18 hours left.
Here is some additional information that I've gathered in Spacer Town. Perhaps we should return to the city after you log it.
Okay, Central. Daniil's been doing some digging around. It's good, good. Enter this as entry B in the log.
Draw the data card B, label B.
Ooh, flip it around, and how about someone pick a hand?
Get it.
Which hand, Vicky?
Oh, yeah, you went with that side. All right. Security report from May 26, 8:33 a.m. Another report of excessive noise at Vasilia Fastolov's lab. Gave another warning. At 8:33 on May 26. What time of the year? This was yesterday when she was on the train. It's 26th of May. That was at 7:45 a.m. This is at 8:33 a.m. when another report of excessive noise at the Chick's lab, the Vasilia's lab, gave another warning. I don't even know what kind of warning they're talking about.
That's interesting.
Well, that's our clue so far. So I guess we'll just carry on. So noise. Wait. Okay. So does noise mean? Well, shoot. When did the shooting happen? I don't even remember when the shooting happened. Okay, let's go. Yeah. So she was in her lab at that time, and we'll have to find out when the murder happened, or
Okay, and that just
attempted
means
murder.
that just basically means that it was her alibi goes through.
In Central, what about something for me?
Dr. Amadiro's ultimatum to the city has but 12 hours left. It is rumored that failing an arrest, spacer robots will enter the city to put down the riots.
The citizens of New York have nothing to fear. We have matters well in hand.
I don't feel like we're making much progress, partner Elijah.
Patience, Daniil. It's lesson number 1 if you want to be a good detective. Patience. Eventually, if you have patience, you might stumble into something.
Are you talking about your human intuition, partner Elijah?
Yeah, I guess you could call it that. I mean, we need facts and logic, but human intuition plays a big part in detective work. A big part. Look, listen. I want you to get me an exact list of everyone who had access to that lab, and I mean everyone. Human or robot, Earth person or spacer. Other than Dr. Fastolf, Giscard, and you, of course.
Of course. Keldon Amadiro, Borgraf, Julius Enderby, Vasilia Fastolf, Jane, Sophia Quintana, and Sammy.
Sammy! Where were you at 8:30 this morning?
I was working here at the station, Detective Bailey. Did I tell you I am concerned about Commissioner Enderby? He's been quite upset today.
Yes, call me.
He's been quite upset today.
Elijah, I wonder why you are curious about Sammy's whereabouts.
I am curious about everything, Daniil. But I guess I'm just grasping at straws.
Grasping and...
It's, you know...
Oh, yes, one of your Earth idioms. Perhaps you would like to look at this if you are indeed grasping at straws.
Data Central. Enter this as data entry C in the log.
All right, I see. Joey or Leanne. Pick a side. All right. Positronic Brain Simulator Usage Report, May 25th, 2149. At 11:40 a.m., Visual Processing. At 2:13 p.m., Heuristic Analysis. At 3:38 p.m., MindLink V. Fastlov and R. Borgraf.
Robot Borgraf.
Oh, robot, I gotcha. And 4:19, you got a minute, p.m., Regressive Olotka Function.
That's hard.
All of this stuff happens after 8:30, so it's not clearing anybody. I don't even know. Positronic Brain Simulator Usage Report? Is there a positronic brain in the map?
Or a positronic brain simulator?
Yeah.
Anybody talking about a positronic brain simulator?
Well, people who used it were just Fastolf and Borgraf. And then Olotka Function, is that a name or is Olotka a function?
No, those names are hard.
Boy, this doesn't help anything. Let's carry on, I guess.
There's no Olotka on the names. So.
Just a function, not a name.
There's no one on there. It's like
You guys earning your paychecks back there? You got anything new for me?
Keldon, you have got to get me off Earth. I'm young. I've got hundreds of years left if I can just get back to Aurora. I can't take any more of these Earth germs.
Vasilia, I understand how you feel. I'm in danger every day myself. But you know I cannot intervene without Fastol's blessing.
You outrank him. Just do it.
I can't, rank or not. It would mean the end of any influence I have on Aurora. Perhaps if you... Never mind. But things will change, Vasilia. After this attack, Fastol's supporters will realize that Earth cannot be rehabilitated. They will lose sympathy for it.
I can't wait that long. If I have to be subjected to the presence of just one more of those dirty Earthers.
Patience, Vasilia. I hate it too. I cannot abide their insolence, their familiarity. I don't know how Fastolf can feel we have anything in common with him. But he won't win in the long run, Vasilia. I will not lose to Fastolf this time.
Listen to me, Daniil. A good detective doesn't limit his options. Now, I think we have to consider Vasilia and Amadiro as suspects.
Since the Spacers have no crime, it seems unlikely that Keldon Amadiro or Vasilia would have tried to kill Dr. Fastolf. Additionally, Vasilia is Han Fastolf's daughter.
Granted. But both of them have been under great stress since arriving on Earth.
Are you suggesting they have become unstable enough to be considered suspects?
That's what I'm suggesting.
Then we have 4 suspects. Keldon Amadiro, Vasilia Fastolf, Sophia Quintana, and Julius Enderby.
Julius Enderby? He's the commissioner of police.
But logically, he must be on the suspect list, must he not?
You know, Daniil, you may make a detective yet. So, if we include Enderby, we also have to include Borgraf, Jane, and Sammy. They all had passes, too.
The first law of robotics precludes considering any robots as suspects.
Wait a minute. Daniil, let me ask you a question. And now, don't be offended. Can you conceive of any circumstances which might lead a robot to break that first law?
No. A robot may not harm a human being.
May not harm a human being.
That's correct, Elijah. Partner Elijah, here is an item in which you might be interested.
Wake up, Data Central. Enter this stuff as data entry D in the log.
All
Get you
right.
this stuff.
So this time it's for Joe. D, a warranty note for the Model 218 robot is extremely sensitive to certain chemical compounds, including but not limited to plutonium, iridium, kryptonite. I thought that was fake.
No.
Iodine and argon. Krypton is a gas. I always heard you can't make a mineral of it. I guess maybe in some conditions.
Temporary.
Lab conditions. Contact with any of these chemicals leads to immediate shutdown. Warning. So this is saying that a 218 robot can't get close to chemical compounds.
Because it'll malfunction and shut down.
Yeah, I'm guessing this is trying to tell us that the cheapo robots can't go in labs. So that's
right. Sammy.
No Sammy or Jane.
Yeah,
Jane is an 1138.
Jane was really shifty, though.
Yeah, real shifty.
Okay. I guess.
Real twitchy.
You thought Jane was 1138.
Yeah, she's not 218.
Oh, then what is a
Sammy's
218?
Sammy is a 218.
Really? They seem like the same model.
Yeah, but they had different numbers.
Oh, you got all their character stuffs. Okay. Then, okay, so only Sammy is clear. Let's carry on.
I don't suppose you guys have dug up anything new for me at this hour in the morning.
Sophia has been quite upset.
Commissioner Enderby as well.
You do a good job at perceiving the Commissioner's feelings, Sammy. Sophia doesn't like the new humanoid robot. He makes her feel badly about her robot designs.
All robots make Commissioner Enderby feel badly. Except me, of course.
I'm glad that you don't make the Commissioner feel badly, Sammy. Sophia doesn't want any spacer robots to come to the city. They are too frightening for humans. She says all robots should be friendly and make humans feel superior.
I can do that.
Good morning. It's 7:30 a.m. There are 3 hours left for city police to apprehend Han Fastoff's assailant. Rumors that spacer robots are already loose in the city have set off new riots. Attempts to reach Commissioner Enderby for comment have been unsuccessful. In other news...
Okay, Bailey, what do you got?
Daniil and I have made some progress, Commissioner.
Daniil?
That's right. The robot. We're going back to Spacer Town. I think we need to have another chat with Dr. Fastoff himself. And I'd like a few other people present, Commissioner, including you.
Me?
By Tri-D, at least.
I've started to get information from the Spacertown lab. Interesting. The assassin knocked over a vial of activated iridium while escaping. They are running particle tests and combing the area for clues. Here is a preliminary report from the Spacertown security.
Central. We've got entry E for you. Preliminary security report.
All right. So Iridium was in the lab. Here, why don't you sandwich that card and I'll pick this one.
All right. I'm gonna go like this, or like this, or
just whatever cover. I can see through your fingers on there. Yeah, I don't know what that means. I'll pick this side that I wasn't seeing.
All right. It says Spacertown Security Evidence Report. Analysis of particles found in lab. High concentration of Earth microbes decontaminated by UV radiation.
So it was an
Someone who
earther.
went through the decontamination chamber, though.
It was somebody that went
Not
through
someone
it.
who snuck in.
So let's look at the map.
Well, yeah, I think that's anyone going to Spacer Town. Yeah, because that's you don't even get to Spacer Town without going through decontamination.
So,
Unless you go in the house.
so they went. Yeah.
See?
Yeah. Yeah, so they know exactly what we're looking at.
Decontamination, yeah. So it's an earther because that's the people who go through decontamination.
Yeah, because they're all paranoid
And
about.
that's the people who have germs on them.
No, those people never
Okay.
So,
germs.
All right, let's carry on. I want to see this.
do we have specific earthers we're leery of yet? No, I don't think so.
Not yet.
All right, here we go.
Oh, and thanks for sending the first law at Data Central. That was a big help. Central. What's iridium? Dr. Fastoff, what were you doing when the assassin attempted to kill you?
I was engaged in work that required total concentration.
And what was the nature of that work?
Well, I was going over some plans.
I see. Perhaps Giscard can be of greater help.
How can I help you, Detective Bailey?
Please play back the holo of the murder attempt.
Certainly.
Freeze the ending. Now run it back and freeze the beginning. Giscard, run it further back.
Dr. Fastoff?
We must comply, friend Giscard.
Now, Giscard, give us audio and play the whole thing back.
These continued Earth riots are an unforeseen event. Giscard and I are concerned about possible harm to humans. How should we proceed? You must press forward with the Daniel Olivar strategy more rapidly. I understand. I have instructed Giscard and you in the strongest possible manner that this is the ultimate path of human happiness. Do you not believe this? I am trying to follow your instructions. Friend Giscard has helped me to understand their purpose. Giscard is invaluable. I find it difficult to get along without him here on Aurora. But it was essential that he go with you to Earth. Both for appearance's sake and as a practical matter. Is there anything else? No. I will speak with you tomorrow.
Fastov sent a robot of himself.
Exactly. Daniil, if you would please get the completed report from Spacertown Security, I think we can begin to draw some serious conclusions about this case.
I will do so immediately. I am pleased to meet you, friend Han.
It became clear to me that Fastov could not have come to Earth himself. He was the only spacer who did not exhibit disgust at being in my presence. But robot Fastov's behavior was at odds with Vasilia's description of her father's overriding fear of Earth germs. What better way for him to implement his plan for integrating robots into Earth's society than to send a robot to do the job? Additionally, Fastov's ongoing political battles with Keldon Amadiro and Vasilia provided strong incentive for him to create the perfect robot. One that would fool even them.
Bailey, your ramblings lead nowhere. You uncover the robot Fastov, but it doesn't change anything. There's only a few minutes left. You have no culprit.
Partner Elijah, I have the completed security report.
Thank you. Partner Daniil. Data Central, I think we can just about wrap this thing up. Enter this final security report as entry F.
Alright, let's just throw this one in the air. And, what do we got? A gun. Spacertown security report. Evidence report. Weapon blaster found. Chiron testing indicates sweat traces on the handle.
Alright, well, let's get that
great
analyzed.
So it's a human. I still don't understand which human. Alright.
Last call, Data Central. Last call.
The culprit, Bailey.
Dr. Amadiro, we now have enough evidence to discover who did it, why, and how.
Perhaps you should have Data Central render an indictment.
Data Central. We only have a few minutes left on Amadiro's deadline. You should be able to name the suspect, spell out the motive, and describe the opportunity before time expires. Bailey, out.
We have a time limit on this one? Or is that just the end of the video and we gotta figure it out?
We have 2 minutes.
Well, that's the credits are 2 minutes.
So we gotta figure it out for the end.
I don't know. Let's see this. Who do we got that are humans?
Well, you were right in the first place. It was Sophia.
First, foremost roboticist, in the motive, yeah, but she's got the first alibi.
Yeah.
Han Fastov is the foremost space moderate head of robotics. And that's the guy who got shot.
What about her?
Yeah.
She wants to go home.
No, she wouldn't have germs on her.
No, it doesn't say germs. It says sweat.
That was the gun. The report of security found germs in the lab.
Oh yeah, human germs. That's right.
Administrative head of robotics. He represents a hawkish faction among the spacers. Keldon, maybe? The faction of spacers? No, he wouldn't be a Earther. I think. So these department. He's a medievalist who longs for the Earth. Oh, could be the good old commissioner. He was worried. Remember when he was worried?
He was very worried. He was very, very worried. He might have done something bad.
Those policemen on Earth, like most Earth people, he is opposed to the advance of robots. Oh, that's us. We're Bailey. I guess, could Bailey do it? That could be a twist, I guess. He seems so confident giving the evidence against himself, though.
Yeah, I don't think it's Bailey. I think
it's Commissioner.
It might be the Commissioner.
He's the only human that could have been doing it.
I think it's blue dress lady.
Vasilia Fast.
Let me see that card.
Alright.
So it's 1 and everything else is 0.
Yeah, let's just look it out.
Don't get their sides.
We got 40 seconds left.
Yeah, alright. So, who's all on the team of Julius Enderby, the Commissioner? Who is on for Vest? You went up. Who's
Blue
on
dress
for
lady.
Oh, you're up for Blue Dress. Okay, so Joe and I are going for the Commissioner, and they are going for Vasilia Fastolf. So now we have to do the rest of the game where we add up these clues, and we find out which clue were we on? That one. All right. So we take these numbers, we add up. We got 001. We are on number 1. We have a 1 on expert. That is Q. Page Q in the answer book is our answer.
Okay. Julius Enderby was in love with Earth. He had long resented the Spacers' domineering ways and their disdain for Earth's glorious traditions. He secretly sympathized with the riots directed at Spacers, although he knew Earth was too weak to directly oppose them. But Fastolf's plan was to introduce humanoid robots onto Earth itself was too much for the Commissioner. Such sophisticated devices would soon outperform Earth humans in most functions, and mankind would be reduced to obsolescence. Yep.
Obsoletiness.
Sensing the Spacer confidence in the project and believing Fastolf must be stopped, Enderby felt that it was up to him to act. He prepared an alibi by breaking his glasses, then leaving the office ahead of the reluctant Bailey. He put on spare glasses, took his blaster, raced to
Spare
space
glasses, of course.
using his pass to gain entrance to Fastolf's
Well, I've
lab.
got spare glasses, don't you?
Such a good trick, yeah.
Seeing Fastolf through the open door, Enderby was sweating profusely as he inserted a charge into the blaster. Aiming and firing took only a second, but Grisgard was quicker, managing to knock Fastolf out of the way. Knowing Grisgard would be upon him before he could recharge his blaster, the Commissioner now thought only of escape. Brushing against the lab table and leaving dead Earth microbes on it, he dashed out of the door and down the hall. Enderby quickly wiped his blaster on his pants, obscured his fingerprints, but leaving traces of sweat he dropped as he ran. He was out of the building before Grisgard's alarm activated the tingle fields, and was on his way to the city by the time Bailey discovered the crime.
There it is.
So there it is. The Commissioner wins.
Crime solved.
She's gonna grab
So we are going to give you guys a countdown now for New Year's. So just pause the video when I say pause the video, and then we'll immediately start counting down from 10. So start the video again when it's 10 seconds before midnight. All right? Pause the video. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year! Da 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 da, and screamers and confetti and imagine it all.
Alright, guys.
That's it. Have a lovely next year.